Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is the Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the TV roundup for the, last 2 weeks. We will be back on the weekly schedule soon. We're going to start off with Arrow from 2 weeks ago. The episode opens with Ollie and Thea training on Lian Yu. While walking on the island, Ollie discovers that Slade has managed to get loose with a little help from Merlin. And once he takes Thea to their father's grave, Ollie's father's grave to recover the gun, Ollie and Thea end up locked up in the Argus prison, courtesy of Slade. Ollie manages to get the cell open with Thea's help, as the cells were more designed to keep a grown man in as opposed to a 21-year-old girl. The pair chase after Slade. However, eventually Slade does come to blows with the siblings queen and loses to them, and gets locked back in his cell in the prison. Ollie and Thea then return to Starling City, and both are very much not happy with Merlin at the moment. Flashback: Ollie, Maceo, and Amanda Waller work to get the stolen virus back in Starling City. Ollie almost reveals he's still alive on a few occasions, but ends up deciding against it. There's also a really amusing point where Maceo makes a crack about a hoodie and grease paint couldn't hide his identity. Now moving on to last week's Gotham. Opens with the Red Hood gang robbing a bank and throwing money into the air to avoid capture. Jim and Gordon and Bullock watch the surveillance footage and learn that the gang timed the GCP's response time. An old service friend of Alfred's comes to visit and stays at the manor. Fish meets with the manager of her where she's imprisoned, which turns out to be a hospital. And the management insists that she freshen up. The Red Hood gang changes leadership in a rather violent manner, as the leader, the one in fact who threw the money to people, goes on about how he was the security guard that shot at him during the first robbery only missed because the hood brings luck. Penguin learns that the club is out of booze, as only Maroni delivers to that part of town. Bruce spars with Alfred's friend, who encourages him to fight dirty. Butch, Fish's former right hand, Penguin's right hand, arranges to get more booze for the club in a rather amusing manner, to say the least. Gordon and Bullock find the Red Hood gang's new leader through a lineup, follow him home, and of course tail him. While speaking with the manager of the hospital, Fish gouges out and destroys one of her own eyes, rather than let management and the other in his guards take and sell them. The second leader of the Red Hood gang gets shot by another member of the gang who wants to take the hood for his own. Alfred catches his friend stealing from the manor and gets stabbed for his trouble. While investigating the shooting of the second leader of the Red Hood gang, Bullock and Gordon realize there actually is they're not just randomly hitting banks, they are hitting specific ones that turned the man down for a loan to start a bakery. Eventually the Red Hood gang gets stopped by the GCPD. Alfred's former serviceman is revealed to have been working for the Wayne Enterprises board to see how much Bruce knows of their more shadier dealings. Then an unknown teenager picks up the discarded Red Hood after the shootout between the GCPD and the Red Hood gang, basically saying that the Red Hood gang will still live. Alright, now on to the season finale of Agent Carter. Opens with the aftermath of Dottie's attack on the theater. Sousa finds a gas cannon and is sprayed in the face with the last bit of the gas, leading him to attack Thompson before being subdued. Stark turns himself in and volunteers to help catch Dottie and Dr. Ovchenko. He ends up being kidnapped by the pair and taken to Stark's vehicle vault, where Ovchenko hypnotizes Stark to loose the gas on New York City. What he has Stark believing is that they've found Cap in the ice, and he's just got to keep flying to the point where they found the remains of Cap's jet. Peggy finds Dottie and Ovchenko in the radio room, leading to a fight between Dottie and Peggy. After the fight ends, Peggy tries to talk Stark down, which at first is quite hard. Ovchenko knocks out Thompson and tries to convince Sousa to kill Thompson. Sousa, however, knocks out Ovchenko and reveals that he had cotton balls in his ears so that he couldn't be hypnotized. Peggy manages to talk Stark down, and Ovchenko is taken into custody. Thompson is commended for the SSR's actions and seemingly becomes the new director, or the new chief at least. Peggy and Angie are given one of Stark's more modest homes, and Jarvis gives Peggy the vial of Cap's blood, which Peggy pours out into the river. Ovchenko is delivered to prison wearing something of a muzzle. Basically, it makes it so he can't speak, which is good, with the whole hypnotism thing. But after he's delivered to his cell, it's revealed that his cellmate is none other than Arnim Zola, one of the scientists who worked with Hydra back in the first Captain America movie. Zola is quite pleased with the fact that Ovchenko is his cellmate and hands him a paper and pencil in hopes that the two can exchange ideas on the workings of the mind. Which in all honesty to me pretty much says that Ovchenko was responsible for Bucky's brainwashing and that turned him into the Winter Soldier. And moving on to last week's episode of Scorpion. Over with Sylvester and Megan, Walter's sister, finishing up a date and discussing telling Walter about their relationship, even though Megan has learned she will always have to wear her leg braces. At the garage, Walter shows the team a news story on him, which he tries to spin it as a story on the team before Agent Gallo brings a tech mogul to them in the hopes of the team helping him to get his daughter back. And oh boy. Uh-oh. Okay. Technical difficulties, sorry about that. His daughter back from the Mexican drug cartel. When the team arrives in Mexico, they are promptly robbed of the ransom money, and Sylvester decides that's the perfect moment to tell Walter that he's dating Walter's sister, that he's dating Megan. The team soon finds the location that a video sent to the tech mogul was shot by the cartel was shot at, and walks into an automated ambush. After returning to the hotel and surviving the ambush, obviously, Happy manages to find a source of information who eventually leads the team to the cartel's base of operations. The team then plans to infiltrate the building to save their client's daughter. The plan goes off pretty much without a hitch. There were a few minor hitches here and there, but nothing that wasn't too bad. The team saved the girl and returned home, where Walter apologized to the team for the news piece and for being a jerk, kind of a jerk to them, and talks to Sylvester about him dating Megan, and basically tells him that she could definitely have picked a worse boyfriend. On to the season finale of Sleepy Hollow. Was with Ichabod fighting the Redcoats before questioning Ab in 1781 before going to question Abby, who in fact saves him from his initial meeting with the Horsemen. She begins to realize that she may have really messed up history by doing so. Abby convinces Ichabod to take her to Benjamin Franklin, while Katrina joins forces with the Horsemen. At Ben Franklin's, Abby tells him of the future, and the two plan to reverse the spell before the Horseman shows up and kills Franklin, leading to Abby telling Ichabod that Katrina is in league with the Horseman, and Ichabod being relieved of his duties. At his home, Ichabod sees the Grand Grimoire and is nearly killed by Katrina, who would have stabbed him in the back by levitating a knife, before being summoned by General Washington. Rather than go to the General, Ichabod goes to see Abby and discovers that all she said is true by accessing her cell phone, which, in defense, she told him partially how to do. The duo then leave for Frederick's Manor, and as Abby's ancestor Grace, who lives there, might be able to reverse the spell. While Grace prepares to reverse the spell, Katrina and the Horseman arrive, leading to a fight between Ichabod and the Horseman. Once Katrina realizes that what Abby and Grace are doing, she tries to stop it, but it is too late, as her and Abby are returned to the point they left, the point in 2015 from which they left, where Katrina tries to kill Abby, only to be stopped and killed by Ichabod. Then, afterward, while cleaning up the scene, the two, damn it. That's what I get for it. Okay. The next day, afterwards, Jenny and Captain Irving show up as Ichabod and Abby pick up the grimoire and anything else Katrina and Henry brought with them. Abby says that Grace told her that the war isn't over and there are still great battles to come. Basically, a nice way of saying, we don't know if we're going to have a third season or not. If we do, we may have stuff. We've got stuff in store. So, moving on to this past week's episode of Arrow. I was with Raish and Nyssa arguing over what is to be done with Ollie. Nyssa being in favor of killing Ollie. Raish actually showed restraint. At the Arrow Cave, Ollie, Thea, and Merlin continue their training. Later, Roy and Thea discuss her having killed Sarah. And Roy tells her about how he was hopped up on Mirakuru the previous year and killed a cop. Felicity walks in on Ray working on the Atom suit, which he's been doing for at this point a week now, and has non-stop at that. Thea tells Laurel what happened with Sarah, leading to Ollie talking to each one before Laurel goes after Merlin herself. The League of Assassins, however, intervenes as Laurel got in touch with Nyssa and takes Merlin to Nanda Parbat. However, Ollie manages to take Nyssa prisoner. Nyssa tells Ollie where Nanda Parbat is, as she presumes that Ollie will simply go and die there. John tells Ollie that he's coming with him this time, and there's nothing that Ollie can do to stop him. And so the two go to Nanda Parbat to rescue Merlin using the Argus jet, only to get captured in the process. Felicity gets ready to take a break, and the two kiss again, and, actually also sleep together. While chained up at Nanda Parbat, John asks Ollie to be best man at his wedding. Roy shows Thea how he copes with having killed the SCPD officer. He in small ways does stuff to help out the cop's family. Ray has a breakthrough with the Atom suit after waking up in bed next to Felicity and takes it for a test flight. Thea tells Nyssa the truth about Sarah's death. Ray tells Ollie he wants Ollie to succeed in. He doesn't want to kill him, but like I said, wants Ollie to succeed in. Flashback. After being debriefed, Ollie and Maseo are attacked by Argus agents and forced to split up. Maseo and Tatsu going one way, and Ollie and their son the other. And moving on to this week's episode of Gotham, it opens with Gordon, Bruce, and Alfred talking about Alfred's stabbing. Alfred lies to Gordon about the identity of who attacked him, and Bruce plays along. Fish wakes up in the hospital in the care of its owner, Dr. Dolmacher, who has replaced her eye. Fish suggests Dillmocker make her his right hand, though he is initially hesitant. Gordon is told that Flass has been exonerated. While talking with the commissioner, Gordon finds out that Bullock reversed his testimony to get Flass free, basically to drop charges against Flass. While talking with Bullock, Gordon learns that the commissioner has leverage on many, many cops in the city, as well as politicians and anyone else. Well, at least many people of note. Fish makes a deal with Dillmocker on a provisional basis. Dillmocker shows her what's become of the office manager to give Fish an idea of what happens to those who fail him. His head, somehow still alive, has been removed from his body and stitched on that of a woman. Actually, in all honesty, he was turned into something akin to Frankenstein's monster. It was kind of disturbing. Selena volunteers to help Bruce catch Alfred's old army buddy, though Bruce objects. I'm pretty sure she's gonna do so anyway. Gordon and Dent try to find the commissioner's cache of blackmail info. However, things get a bit rough, and Bullock shows up to help. Eventually, Gordon and Bullock, having learned of Falcone's involvement, go to Penguin for help, and Penguin and Gordon make a deal. Penguin leads Gordon and Bullock to the commissioner's farm, where they presume the files to be. And while they don't find the files, they do find the commissioner's daughter, who it turns out is responsible for the death of the commissioner's wife 20 years beforehand. Gordon arranges to get Flass tried, Bullock's file handed over, and himself as president of the police union. And Penguin takes care of the couple who are running the farm. Basically, tying up loose ends. On to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. come back from its mid-season hiatus. Opens with a young man with no eyes named Gordon, whom we saw at the end of the mid-season finale. This is also a younger version, so trying to teleport trying to teleport in the past, and not having much luck. Then cuts to Skye in quarantine, grieving over Tripp's death. The Hydra Council meets to decide who will take Whitehall's position. Back at the cave, Raina attacks and kills two of the researchers working with Simmons, and Simmons shoots Raina, but not fatally. Raina manages to escape. Coulson orders Simmons back to base. Coulson plans to trade Bakshi, Whitehall's right-hand man, to General Talbot. Part of the plan being a staged rescue, quote-unquote, of Bakshi by Hydra. Bakshi calls one of the council members, a Mr. Bloom, to arrange coming in, and presumably taking Whitehall's place. Raina catches up with Dr. Zabo and asks him to help her. Zabo tells her that there is no help. She got what she wanted out of the whole thing. But he decides to look up the S.H.I.E.L.D. Superhuman Registry and make some friends and cause some trouble. Bakshi convinces Bloom to try and kill the rest of the council. As Hunter, during the fake rescue, alluded to having been hired by multiple members of the council to kill Bakshi. Bloom pulls this off and also tries to have Hunter and Mockingbird killed, but that manages to fail pretty miserably. And in fact, Fitz switches out Skye's DNA test results to hide the truth about Skye's changed DNA from the team. Hunter and Mockingbird kill Bloom and take Bakshi back into custody, deliver him to Talbot, basically. Raina tries to kill herself by walking into traffic, only to be ambushed by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents until Gordon shows up and teleports her out. Mac uses an RC model of Lola that he built for Coulson to find out that Coulson has Fury's toolkit. Mag tells Mockingbird this and to continue their secret mission. What that mission is anyone's guess, though. Hopefully we'll find out by the end of the season. And that's it for the TV roundup. Like I said, we will be back on a weekly schedule next Wednesday. Sorry about the jumping around on this. I'll also be back Saturday with a regular video, and feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Also, feel free to follow me on social media. Links to both are down below. And this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.